Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to today's session of how we can bring GenAI apps to production fast. We'll do a quick round of introductions. First, let me introduce Royal Cyber. We are an IT and business consultancy company providing solutions to enterprise customers for the last 20 years. We have offices in 5 continents, more than 10 countries. We have delivered solutions to more than 600 clients. We are a team of 2,000 individuals, and we have about 250 certified consultants on multiple technologies, including Databricks and Snowflake. We are partners with Microsoft, Oracle, Salesforce, Snowflake, Databricks, SAP, and we are ISO certified and multiple other awards and recognitions. All right, so here's our team, which will be presenting today's demo. I'm Hamza. I look after the business sides of things of data analytics at Royal Cyber. We have then Moz. Moz is a senior data scientist with many years of experience with Databricks and large language models. He has worked with multiple end-to-end AI solutions and has delivered promising results. Then we have Sai. Sai is a senior data consultant with multiple years of experience in designing and implementing data, ML, and AI solutions. He is, for both of them are certified Databricks professionals. Let's get down to the agenda. First, we'll go through the introductions as we have just did now. Then we will talk about data analytics on Databricks. Then we have DBRX and MosaicAI framework overview. Then we have Unity catalog overview. Then we'll go to AI BI Jenny of how generative AI can help you using Databricks. Then we'll get to the use case overview, solution architecture, until then finally the live demo. Then we'll summarize everything, and then we'll get to the Q&A. Also, Databricks is a single platform for data and AI. It allows you to keep your structured and unstructured data into one lakehouse, which opens an immense possibilities of using this data for your ML and Gen AI apps. All that is governed by Unity Catalog, which allows you to give appropriate permissions to respective stakeholders. Databricks is a holistic solution for all of your data analytics need. It has data engineering solution which allows you to streamline and automate business processes by turning data from multiple disparate sources into a single database or lakehouse. Databricks use MosaicAI to create custom machine learning solutions for data pre-processing, feature engineering, model building, model selection, hyperparameter tuning, and creating endpoint for model serving. For generative AI solutions, Databricks has recently come up with AI BI Genie with DBRX just in the last month, in the month of June, to provide you with contextualized multimodal LLM. You can use natural language query to extract insights from the data within your organization and public sources. ML operations are taken care of by MLflow. It lets you build, test, and implement a model for a wide range of business domains. Machine learning is an iterative process, and MLflow allows you to iterate with the models to reach its optimum performance. So just imagine managing your entire data journey from raw collection of data to deployed AI models, all on just single one platform. That's the power of Databricks AI, optimized for general use. It's one-stop shop for data engineers, data scientists, machine learning experts, all of them to work together seamlessly. And also your business executives can use this platform for their generative AI needs, for their extracting insights using natural language query. Databricks AI also packs a punch with built-in AI features. Needs super fast search through massive datasets. Vector search is there for you. Want pre-built AI models to jumpstart your project? It has got you covered. Databricks AI scales with you. Start small, grow big. Your AI efforts are always supported. So Databricks provides this data intelligence platform, which allows you to democratize data and AI. It empowers everyone in your organization to leverage data and AI for insights, not just data scientists or specialists. Anyone can access the relevant data and get insights through natural language query. You don't need to bother your data engineers that much now. It provides you a unified data management. It provides you a single platform called Lakehouse for storing, securing, and governing all your data, and simplifying the data management. AI-powered insights uses a data intelligence engine that understands your data to automate tasks, optimize performance, and generate deeper insights. It is open and flexible. It is built on an open lakehouse architecture, allowing you to integrate with existing tools and technologies. Now I will hand it over to Sai, who will take you through DBRX, MosaicAI, and AI BI Jenny.
Thank you, Hamza, for introducing about Databricks and the data intelligence platform. So DBRX is what we'll discuss firstly. So DBRX is an open source general purpose LLM created by Databricks. So it is an open source LLM with capabilities that rival the closed model APIs. It is both a general purpose and also an especially capable code model. It is pre-trained on 12 trillion tokens of text and code data like other state-of-the-art leading LLMs. It is also a decoder-only transform-based LLM. It is having a mixture of experts architecture, and it has got around 132 billion parameters. This comes with both training and inference performance improvements, and it is nearly twice as compute efficient as any other open source LLM. Coming to the comparison of scores, DBRX outperforms all other leading models like Llama 2, Mixtral, or Grok in terms of language understanding, programming, and even math capabilities. Even in terms of inference efficiency, it is advancing the state of the art metrics amongst the open source models thanks to its fine grained mixture of experts architecture. The MosaicAI model serving combined with DBRX can generate text at up to 150 tokens per second per user. Training training mixture of experts is also about twice as more flop efficient than training dense models for the same final model quality. In terms of its advantage over open models at multiple leading benchmarks that every other LLM follow, DBRX is outperforming, like let's say, Llama by around 40% and even Mixtral by more than 20 or 30% across multiple fronts. When it comes to closed models, it is very competitive with Gemini 1.0 Pro and Mistral Medium. The scores for DBRX are higher than Gemini 1.0 Pro on multiple benchmarks, while Gemini 1.0 is only stronger on one. Even for GPTs, it is much stronger than GPT 3.5 on all the benchmarks possible, and it is only leading behind GPT 4 and other bigger models like Claude. And this proves that DBRX is worthy of calling state of the art in terms of its open source model capabilities and rivaling its closed source competitors. Now let's discuss about the Mosaic AI framework. Databricks provides a unified tooling to provide a ease of building, developing, deploying, managing, and optimizing your AI and ML solutions, from building predictive models to the latest Gen AI or LLM solutions. It is part of the bigger data intelligence platform and covers everything that is there for an ML or AI solution. For example, Mosaic AI inherently provides a way for governing AI models in the form of Mosaic AI Gateway. It enables the users to have a unified interface to easily manage, govern, evaluate, and switch between models. It sits on the model serving to enable rate limiting, permissions, and credential management for model APIs, both internal and external. It also provides a single interface for querying foundational model APIs so that customers can easily swap out models in their systems to do rapid experimentation and find the best model for the use case. Gateway tracking allows tracking between The API calls for each model and inference tables to capture which data was sent in and out. This allows the platform teams to understand how to change the rate limits, how to implement chargebacks, and how to do audits for data leakage. MosaicAI also has this AI guardrails feature, which adds endpoint level or request level safety filtering to prevent unsafe responses or even add PII detection filters to prevent sensitive data leakage. Coming to the Unity catalog, the challenge for the data governance is always there. That is because the data is siloed across multiple platforms and assets, and it is very difficult to have an access control uh, across all these platforms and even maintain collaboration between them. And it is a bigger challenge to have this compliance management implemented as well. And here comes the solution, which is Databricks Unity Catalog. Unity Catalog gives unified visibility. What it means is it allows the users to gain a complete picture of the data and their assets across clouds and platforms. It gives the simplified governance ability, which means the users can manage permissions with a single user-friendly model for data, models, notebooks, and many more. The users can securely discover, access, and collaborate on trusted data for efficient teamwork, promoting collaboration. Unity Catalog leverages AI to proactively identify and mitigate data risks for enhanced compliance. The major features are what we're going to discuss now. So Unity Catalog offers a single place to administer data access policies that apply across all the workspaces. The standards are very compliant, in terms of security. Unity Catalog's security model is based on ANSI SQL, and SQL is very familiar with all the admins. So it allows the admins to grant permissions in their existing data lake using the familiar syntax at level of catalogs, schemas, tables, and views. The built-in auditing and lineage feature allows the Unity catalog to automatically capture user-level audit logs, and also the lineage data tracks how data assets are created and used across all languages. Unity catalog also lets you tag and document data assets and provide a search interface to help discover the data. The last thing that I'll be covering today is this AI BI Genie. So, what this AI BI Genie is, it is a revolutionary conversational assistant, and it is a data exploration tool recently added to Databricks. It empowers the users to ask questions of their data in natural language, eliminating the need for any complex SQL queries or expertise in BI tools. The key features are its intuitive interface that people are already familiar with. It lets the users ask questions and get answers in plain language, making exploration accessible to all skill sets. Uncovering hidden insights is another key important feature, given that it can surface insights beyond the scope of pre-built dashboards and fostering additional data discovery. Genie integrates seamlessly with existing data governance controls, ensuring data privacy and security. Like you can see in this video, it can give even visualizations and responses seamlessly. Now that I'm done with all of that I wanted to talk about, I'll be handing it over to Hamza to talk about the benefits and the business use cases.
Thank you, Sai. Let me take you through the business benefits of using GenAI with Databricks. So, when you don't have to spend as much time making decisions, you can free up your time to focus on more creative and innovative things. By making decisions faster, you can improve the customer experience by resolving issues more quickly and responding to inquiries in a more timely manner. Accelerated decision making can help you to save money and resources by streamlining processes and reducing the amount of time and effort that is required to make decisions. You can turn your ideas into product faster and bring them to market even faster with all the real-time data analytics provided by Databricks. Databricks can provide you with it can help you make better decisions by providing a platform that centralizes your data and give you the tools to analyze it. Now let's get down to the industry use cases. GenAI has a huge number of use cases in each of the industry. I can go on and on with all the use cases listed here, but keeping in mind the time constraint we have here, I will just name a few. So in the healthcare industry, virtual consultants powered by Gen AI can offer a 24/7 support and answer patients' non-emergency questions. It can also flag the healthcare provider in case of any emergency. In the industry of banking and finance, Gen AI can provide personalized financial advice based on individual needs and risk tolerance. Gen AI can predict demand fluctuations in the manufacturing industry, and it can allow the manufacturers to optimize production and inventory. So yes, there are like a lot of use cases in the entertainment industry. One that catches my eye is that it can create high quality dubbing and localization, bringing global audience to your content. And we might be able to, understand K-pop stars and relate with Gen Z by using Gen AI. Just on a lighter note. Okay, the last use case I would like to talk about is for retailers. The retailers can understand what are the needs of their customers by just doing the natural language query instead of running a whole sentiment analysis on the datasets. So these are some of the use cases that I mentioned here. We can discuss more use cases in maybe Q&A. And I will hand it over to Moaz now, who will take you through the use case, the solution architecture, and the demo. Thank you, guys. Over to you, Moaz.
Thank you, Hamza and Sai, for the wonderful description of Databricks DBRX and MosaicAI. Hello everyone, my name is Mozavan, and now I am going to cover a case study that is going to describe a financial assistant helping financial analysts in their research projects. So without further ado, let's move to our case study. So as you can see in the problem statement, usually financial analysts face challenges in quickly querying and analyzing section 10Q and 10K forms. This is because of the fact that traditional methods are time consuming and inefficient. Therefore, they lack basically specific filtering and AI capabilities. Similarly, building a complex end-to-end AI solution from an ideation to testing and deployment is a very complex task in itself. So we need an intelligent solution to provide accurate, timely results while having governance capability on data and models. So we need a financial assistant for us that is not only providing us with timely and efficient insights, but also it is governed by the entire organization. So as everyone who is going to access the model can see, the admin can see what everyone is up to. So that is why we need that is why we need this, and that is the case study we are going to cover. So the business benefits for this financial analyst will certainly be user experience and insights, scalability and performance, efficiency and accuracy. User experience and the chatbot and financial assistant is certainly going to help a financial analyst in a lot of his work. Similarly, the overall end-to-end solution which we have created is scalable and efficient and accurate. So talking about the salient features which are a part of our solution problem, there is this advanced retrieval mechanism, MosaicAI vector search, and then there is this deployment of the RAG solution. We have the governance part integrated with the Unity catalog to cover not only our data now, but also our model. So, and model governance that is being possible through MosaicAI. So talking about the user journey, this is how a user experience will look like. So as a financial analyst, I am a user who is going to query a prompt. The prompt will have information. The prompt will be asking information about financial forms of a certain company. So the prompt goes to the our DBRX model. The model goes to the vector indexing vector store that is being created within the database itself. It fetches the answer from that vector database and then gives the answers as result to the user. So as a financial analyst, this is very helpful. We, instead of going through the hassle of reading all the financial forms all over again and again, we can actually go to a very specific financial form and get the information in that certain financial form. So now we shall talk about the solution architecture of the overall problem. So we have our data in the form of financial statements out here. The financial statements are then fetched in to create the delta lake out here in so that the data is in a proper delta lake format in a tabular format. And once that is done, we implement the medallion architecture over it to implement the necessary cleaning and stuff. So once after that we have our final clean data set. This clean dataset is then going to be used in order to create our vector search indexes. But before that, we are going to see how somebody from our company who is not a developer or who is not a very technical guy who wants to understand what the data actually is on which our language model is being trained. So he can query the data using the AI BI Genie, which gives us the capability to use the natural language and ask about not only the data but also create the visualizations out of the data as well. So AI BI Genie is there to help the non-technical people out there in our company. Back to the clean dataset. Once we have the clean datasets, we are going to use the Databricks vector search index in order to create the vector store. This capability is also provided by the within the database itself, so we don't need to use any third party or external tool for creating vector search indexes. So once the vector search index is created, then we set up our model, which is the Databricks DBRX. So we use the Databricks DBRX and fetch it to the vector store so that whatever queries we have, the LangChain retriever uses the Databricks DBRX and obtains the result from the vector store. And finally, once the result is obtained, then the LLM gives you a proper response as a financial assistant. Now, the new and latest interesting part in this is the AI gateway thanks to MosaicAI. We have seen that Unity Catalog was able to cover the models and the tables governance. You covered the governance of those tables, but now we can even govern the serving models which are live and running, and we can govern them thanks to the AI gateway of MosaicAI. We can provide high-level permissions, hierarchical permissions, grants, and stuff, and do many more things related to governance thanks to MosaicAI. Similarly, the metadata management is being very effective now because of the fact that MosaicAI has created this AI gateway. The AI gateway enables you to access the metadata of your LLM on a runtime. So the model you have deployed, the user questions there, all will be stored in the form of proper metadata out there. That metadata can be used to fine tune your LLM once again. So this all of these things are possible thanks to MosaicAI and the AI gateway. So let's just now proceed to our live demo. Right, then now we shall be moving to the live representation of our demo. So this right here is the folder in our Databricks workspace where we have our financial chatbot created. So now before moving to any place else, let us have a look at how the data basically looks like. So if we move to the data part here and we see right here, so as you can see in here, so the data is there in the form of some markdown files out there. So these markdown files contain the entire information for the financial forms that have been submitted throughout the tenure. So this is the type of file which we are dealing with. So for the first step which we do is that we create a delta table out of it using some pre-processing stuff. So once the pre-processing implemented, we find this. So this right here is our catalog right now, and this is the schema named default and Edgar tech form. So this basically is how the representation of our data looks like. So if we go to here, you see the name of the companies in here and their tickers along with their exchanges and stuff, industry, and the content of the entire markdown file is being stored in that. So now before moving to create the vector indexes out of this data, what we are going to do is that we are going to create a Genie workspace for this data. So how do you actually build a Genie workspace, right? So like if we go to here, we create this as the Genie workspace. So in the Genie workspace, what we do is that we give the title and the description, we select our warehouses, and we then add the necessary tables out of it. So once it takes a few moments to get stable, and once the Genie workspace is created, so it will look something like this. So we have created a Genie workspace for you using the clean data which we had. So now this is the Genie workspace, and we can ask the natural language about the data, and it will give us all the details. Like if I ask it to explain me the data sets from here, so it converted the question into like what tables are there and how are they connected. Give me a short summary. So it tells us that there is only one table. This contains related to the filing of technology forms in the database. So if I ask it to give me the unique number of companies in the data, number of unique companies in the data, right? So what it is going to do is that it is going to go over that data, and thanks to the data intelligence platform, it is now going to give us the results related to the data. So this right here not only gives us the result in the form of a table, but also we get to see a generated code for it. We can use this code for different sorts of other stuff. So similarly, I can ask list the number of companies by filing type. So as you can see here, it is once again thinking, and it gives us the query that there are basically 148 companies out there who filed 10Q forms, while 24 10K forms, 11 10K A form, and 4 10Q A forms. Similarly, we can also create visualizations. So if I click auto visualize out here, it is going to create the necessary visualizations for me. So it is thinking, since a visualization actually takes a bit of time. So this right here gives us the visualization result of your AI BI Genie. Similarly, if I ask it to give me the top 10 companies with the most number of 10K instances, 10K filing instances, let's just say. So now based on the number of 10K filing instances, it is going to give us the details of the top 10. As you could see, Autodesk had the most filing instances, that is 458. Similarly, WN Technology had the second, and so on and so forth. So if I do auto visualization here, let's see, since this is a bit more detailed paragraph, let's see what Genie responses to us. So now it is thinking, and you see here, now we see a different type of graph that basically compares the details, and we also get the code. So if we want to make any changes to it, we can simply make changes to this code. So now this was a short intro of the AI BI Genie part. Now what happens is that we'll be proceeding to our vector search. So we have this RAG based. Now we shall proceed to RAG based. What actually, once the data is finalized, what happens next? So we import the necessary libraries using Databricks vector search client. We specify the vector search endpoint name, and you see here it is a standard endpoint name, and we create the vector search index for this. So this right here creates a vector search index, and it will take some time, so that is why we are going to proceed towards the next part. So now as you could see here, the vector search index is created, and now what we do is that this table tells us that the vector search index is basically ready. So if we go to our catalog once again, so if I go to my catalog, this one right here, the tables, and this is our vector search index that is finally created. So it is online, and we can use the retriever function on this vector search index as anytime we like. Similarly, if we go to this columns, it will tell us about the primary key and stuff like that. So we can apply column masking rule here, which will mask the columns for it, and we, thanks to Unity catalog, we can give permissions of this vector search index to any person in our company. Let's suppose I am giving access of this data to all account users. So now it will give access to all account users, and I can select the privilege type, what type of privilege basically I want to give. So this was a bit of the vector. Once the vector search index is created, we now proceed back. So this is, you see, we have implemented a few of the questions to see what type of response we get from the vector search. Once the vector search is implemented, now the next thing is use the chain retriever and deploy the RAG chatbot for using DBRX. So we set up, the first thing is we set up the chain configurations, we specify our endpoint name, we specify vector search name and the things which we implemented. We give it a prompt template, which is basically telling us that it is an assistant for a financial analyst. It is going to query the financial data which it has, and it basically gives you the answer related to the query. So we create a LangChain retriever using MLflow logs, and we build the LangChain retriever for it. So once the retriever is completed, the next step is to build the chatbot model. So now using the LangChain additions and the chat prompt template, we're going to then create a final chain, and we are going to give it the question, the context, and give it the vector search retriever, and then we are going to check if the chain works or not. So yeah, the chain is working. And now once the final step is to deploy the RAG based model. So but before deploying the model, the first thing which we need to do is that we are going to store the entire model. So using the MLflow logs, thanks to the MLflow logs, we can once again store the model. So I have stored this model in as named as FinBot, right? So the model will be stored here using the MLflow, and it will be stored as FinBot. So once again, if I move to my catalog, you see we have these models as well. So these models basically represent, this right here is our FinBot model. The model is there, it is ready to serve, and we can either serve it via UI, or we can even use the code for serving this model. So this model was created a few times ago. We can grant permissions to this model as well. So similar, thanks to Unity catalog once again. So now if we move downward, and finally you see here we have given the instructions, and you see here it has deployed the model using the agents from the Databricks. So now the model is deployed, and now we can query the model in the form of a proper chatbot. Now we have the chatbot assistant available to us, and let's see what type of questions it can respond us to. So let's ask, what type of information can you give me? And as you can see, it has a ridiculously fast response time of 101.5 seconds to generate the first token, and less than 0.92 seconds. So it tells us about the latency which we face with DBRX, which is very minimal, and how actually fast it is. And since we have implemented a RAG based model over it, so it makes it even more faster. So now if we ask it about, give me the revenue for Autodesk Incorporation, let's see what happens. Oh, I misspelled this, and there you go. 5,497 million, this can be found, and it gave us the details about the total revenue. So let's suppose let's ask a bit more detailed question. What was the most valuable product type for Autodesk Incorporation? So let's see if it is able to provide the most valuable. See, as you can see here, it tells us that the AEC product family was the most valuable product type for the Autodesk, and it had a revenue of 2,580 million. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to compare it with a standard chatbot playground that isn't, that doesn't have RAG implemented on it. So we go to our playground and ask it about what was the revenue for Autodesk. So as you can see here, it is the same model DBRX syntax, but it doesn't give us the actual response. And that shows how we can create even faster and more result-oriented models based on the RAG implementation. So now let us ask a bit more detailed questions. Let's just ask it, give me the financial details for UPay. So as you could see, for an analyst, it makes the entire thing very easy, and the response generated by our DBRX is very detailed, and an analyst can facilitate himself and reduce his time and increase his efficiency by many folds. So let's just ask what is give details about the financial health. Let's see how it interprets that. Oh, I miswrote there. And let's go. So if I ask it about the details, so yeah, the revenue, the gross profit, the expenses, the loss before other income and income taxes, similarly the liabilities, all the necessary stock things related to UPay have been given to us by our financial assistant. And one last thing which is very interesting to note is that these details for a financial analyst, these details are very crucial, and he can use these details to make future predictions and much more improved forecasting results. So now this was a financial assistant, but how is it implementing? What is basic? The implementation part is courtesy to MosaicAI. So as you can see here, if we go to our serving models here, thanks to MosaicAI, we have the capability to serve our model through here and Finbot. So this data tells us about the details of our serving model, which is active at the moment, and we can give permissions to the necessary resources in our company to manage this model. So somebody from my company who is like a non-tech background, once again, and he only needs to query the result and not make any changes to the model. So we can set the permissions to query or view, and he can only view or query the model, but not make any sort of changes to it. And similarly, one last thing which we are going to say before going to the last thing, there is this events which tells us about how the model was created, the logs for the models, and the build logs required for the models. And finally, this is the payload stuff. So this right here is a very valuable part of that MosaicAI offers to us. So all the data that the chat that is fed into our financial assistant, all the queries from the user, all is stored into the payload on a real-time basis. So as you can see here, the Finbot, we also, thanks to the data intelligence platform, if somebody doesn't know what actually payload is, so this right here is the automatically generated description of the table by the data intelligence platform, which tells us that this data contains related to the client request made to the Finbot application. So if we move to our sample data, we shall see how the data basically looks like. So on a real-time basis, as you can see, we get a delta table out of the table, which out of the queries, which contains the request. There is this timestamps and the necessary status codes, and you see the results of the queries which have been implemented. So now, and the response from the LLM. So why is this valuable? This is very valuable because we can use this to make further fine tunings to our data. We have already available data to see what type of responses is our model giving to certain type of questions. So now we can further fine tune our model using that. And not only that, once we see request metadata, we can use different models for the same question, and even different versions of the same model of this for a question, and see what version basically performs the best for us. So this is how the payload is entirely managed, and once again, thanks to Unity Catalog, we can grant permissions to of this payload as well to any type of resource in our company. So this right here was the entire end-to-end description of a financial chatbot, the AI BI Genie implementation of AI, and how the metadata is basically managed thanks to the AI gateway by MosaicAI. I hope you quite learned a lot of things from it, and I see and let us now just proceed towards the final slide for our presentation, which is about the lessons learned. Again, back to our presentation, we have implemented the entire live demo for our financial chatbot. And what were the lessons which we learned? So we learned about how Databricks DBRX and MosaicAI are the game changers in the industry. We see that how model monitoring is being now managed and very efficiently thanks to the MosaicAI, and it has been taken to certainly taken to new heights thanks to once again MosaicAI. Since its inauguration, Unity Catalog now continues to evolve and provide efficient security and management to avoid data silos, fragments, and data leaks. And adding on to that, Unity Catalog has also been now open sourced. We also see efficient collaboration of different members of an AI team on a single and comprehensive platform. And we all did this to create an end-to-end financial solution, which is certainly going to revolutionize financial work for analysts and not only increase their productivity but reduce their times as well. So that was it for demo today. Thank you for joining us, and now we shall be proceeding to the question answers.